Welcome to another episode of El Gallinero. I can't say it properly at all, but I've been stuck with saying it. I'm Ben Clavis, the head coach at Urban FC, and we've got Gilbert Mendoza here with us, the technical director. We have the special guest always in the corner.
The ghost
Nice
Let's get it going.
The big chat, and then we've also got a special guest with us later on in the podcast, which will be exciting, and will tell us about the big local soccer stories and a little bit about his team going forward. But we'll introduce that later on. So, but you weren't able to make the game on Saturday, but a big win for us. And what are your thoughts watching from online?
First of all, yeah, it was a good win. Good win this past weekend. Got to catch it online on the stream. The stream was really good this time.
Was it?
It was. Finally, they didn't drop like the last time.
They missed our first goal, didn't they?
No, the first goal was there.
Was it? I went back to try and find it.
Really?
Couldn't find it.
It was there.
Okay.
Well, I saw it at least. I don't know. Maybe when they upload.
We're not gonna name out the broadcasting company because they don't deserve the plug. They don't deserve the plug
There's
right
a bit
now.
of controversy right now.
Exactly. We'll explain what happened, and but let's keep moving forward.
But overall, the game, it was really good, really exciting match. It was good back and forth the first half. I mean, we took the lead within the first 2 minutes. Good ball by Felipe to Mark, and Mark was able to finish off the that pass. And then just it's just the way our season has gone, just bad luck. We tried the first goal. We didn't cover. We didn't help our defenders out. It looked like we could have done a little bit more on that first goal. And then the second goal, right? We tried to save the ball from going out of bounds, and we just leave it to the opposing team, and they take advantage of it. But then our boys responded pretty well. Got the equalizer before halftime, and then we just dominated the game from there. Pretty much, I think the other team. They're in last place for a reason. I think I thought they were going to be really good, but unfortunately it was. I think this level may be too much for them currently. I think their youth really shined through our game because they started off really well, but then towards the end of the game they sort of got a little out of sorts at times, and they were everywhere.
No, they've got a bunch of very talented players. Like everyone has in this league, but the biggest thing for them is, a lot of them are freshmen, sophomore in college that maybe haven't played a lot of college games. They've only had one season, and because of the whole COVID situation,
very young. Yeah.
In college they're young and they just haven't no experience. And it happened to us for the first few games. I mean, we were as talented as these other sides, and our experience showed. And that's exactly what seems to be happening with them. And like I say, they've got talent and they'll learn from it and they'll come back pretty strong. So, credit to them. We started off really well the first 5 minutes, and then that next 20-25 minutes, they dominated the game. They took it to us, and we couldn't quite work out a few things for that 20 minutes, and they deserved their lead. I think they really responded well, and then luckily our boys responded. We changed a few things tactically, and then we scored some good goals, and it was really crucial to get that equaliser just before halftime. I think once we got that equaliser at halftime, we regrouped at halftime, changed a few little things in our midfield, and then we went there and we had
You could see, from what I saw, you could see that the level of, the experience is just not there. They're very talented Premier Legends, but you could see when young players have challenges and they don't know how to fix them or adjust to them, they crumble. Right, and then you see that level of that when that experience kicks in, right? You see this, I can't come in on the left side, well I come on the right side, whatever it may be, right? When you have the experience, you're able to adjust, and the whole team adjusts to that, right? I see that a lot with Foro. I'll give them that because you got experienced older players, right? They know how to play against fast talent, young talent, or older talent, right? I noticed that, but hey, kudos to them. It's I think they will do really, really good at the UPSL level. I think this year the Roja League put up an insane amount of talent together. I don't think people realize that Texas is the hotbed of soccer, right? And you have some of the top players at this level playing at the Roja League. People don't really see that. They don't understand that, right? That's why we have the shows to create more buzz about all these players. But yeah, I mean, they were just, it was a huge challenge for them.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But
we faced challenges throughout that game too. We lost our goalkeeper.
I will remember you.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what happened on the stream. All of a sudden, they just said the goalkeeper was
He's been struggling. Noah's been struggling. I mean, he hasn't had an ACL for 2 or 3 years. I think he's a soldier. He worries on, but his knee's been bothering for a while, and I think it kind of came out of place halfway through the first half at some point, and he put it back in, and he's done that a few times in the game, but then it was really affecting his movement. And
So I have some criticism for the team, right? Like we say, we're always gonna give it to everybody, right? So do you think as a director, this goes to Gilbert,
all right.
as a director, do you think experience played a lot not having two goalkeepers there? Because look, regardless of the situation, you shouldn't have a player, because I saw that it was Q, right, that went in as an extra goalie. He's actually a defender.
Yeah.
So you think that plays as well, experience being a director of a club where you have to have two goalies? I mean, let's be real, that shouldn't happen to any club at any level, right? So did you drop the ball here?
I wouldn't say I dropped the ball. I mean, it's a lot, but we did have 2 goalkeepers throughout the season, and just unfortunately this time where we didn't have a second goalkeeper, it was the time Noah gets injured. And it just goes back to the communication with our players, understanding like what's their availabilities. Maybe that could have been done a little bit better, because we from the beginning we wanted to make sure that these guys were committed throughout the whole season, and maybe the commitment, I don't know, something happened there where he had to go back to college.
It's tough though. It's tough with a backup goalkeeper as well, because you're not playing and you're sitting on the bench and you never think your time's gonna come, and you kind of.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So maybe
keep going to practice over and over.
I'm not getting my opportunity, and I'm not getting there. So maybe he left, but then there was his opportunity. If that was his chance to then come in and take over for the rest of the season. So it's tough, and we have another keeper that was being trained with us. We had a set number of players that we were allowed to register at that time, and we thought we had 2 solid keeper options, and went elsewhere, and now we couldn't add anything else. So it'll be interesting to see next week if we're allowed to add a keeper, or whether we have to go with Q again. But I mean, Q was really good, and moving on to player of the match for Saturday, and talking about sort of who you think player of the match was. There were some strong performances. Mark obviously scored 2 very, very good goals. Dalen was a handful up there. Our midfield with Ross and Bacchus and Edgar in there was strong. I mean, our back line after the first half, the second half we were really good. But then there's Q coming in off the bench and being a goalkeeper. So I mean, who for you do you think?
Man, that's a tough one.
But you know what they say about keepers? They're like condoms. I'd rather have one and not need it than need one and not have one. Hey, so next time we need extra keepers, please. I request for the director, sporting director of our residency.
So you want to waste 4 spots on the keeper?
Yeah, exactly. We only have 25 spots. We're gonna put 5 keepers on there.
Hey, but at least we'll have one.
And we have one. He kept the clean sheet. It was a good decision.
You're right.
Who was the other keeper?
His name is Alex. I don't think. I don't know.
See if you put him on there or not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he was up on there.
Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah, Alex.
We're live on the forum, and they're asking, why is there more cups, a bottle of Avion, and shot glasses on the table? Because today we have a special guest, fellas. Our first official guest. You're not gonna believe it. It is who it is. Is the president of Harrington FC. That's right. He will be joining us shortly. He's getting mic'd up right now. And he's at the makeup room right now, getting mic'd up and makeup. Make sure he looks legit for the podcast. We'll be having him and another guest, I believe so. I'm not sure. Maybe the guy that just delivered the pizza. I don't know who, but definitely.
Yeah, so who do you think is...
But back, my bad. The forum was going off. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's a little disorganized right here.
My bad.
Three questions going on.
So let's go back to player of the match.
Player of the match, yeah, player of the match. You.
Player of the match for me, man, that's a tough one. Oh, there's a lot of good performances. I think if I had to choose one, it'd probably be, man, it's tough. It'd probably be Mark. Mark for me, he took his chances, got 2 goals, could have had a couple more assists.
He had the Rabona little chip through
little
today,
Rabona,
and that would have been that would definitely been number 1 on the top plays if that had been finished off. But
yeah, I would say Mark if I had to choose one.
yeah, no, I mean that's a solid choice. I just think the situation of it being 2-2 at half time and Q, who's never been in goal before, I think he's done a few keeper training sessions or something like that, and we're kind of in panic mode. We need to find someone to go and goal. He volunteers and he comes in there, keeps a clean sheet in that second half, and I mean he did pretty well in there. I mean I know they were shooting some from 40, 50 that I was scared the whole time looking at what was going to happen, heart and mouth opportunities, but I think I'm going to give it to him. I don't know about the
so I'm gonna be the icebreaker.
Who's your?
Hello. Okay, well,
The icebreaker.
man, or what do you call it? The icebreaker or the
icebreaker.
what is it? The decision maker?
The tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker. Icebreaker. I'm a little dehydrated, fellas. I'm a little dehydrated today.
Hydrated or dehydrated?
Dehydrated.
Hey, get somebody called doctor on the phone.
Hey, okay. So my opinion is, it was an amazing. I mean, if I could pick the whole team, I would, because they finally came together. I mean, they're just destroyed. I mean, they were great. Every pass, I mean, I was very, very impressed. Mark, it's a hell of a goal. I mean, so many great goals, so many great tricks. I'm gonna have to give it to Q, because you go into the second half, right? You got a team that is trying to win, that they're gonna come at you, right? And they kept firing at him, and he was stopping them.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Like, he did a great job.
Yeah, I mean you've got to give special mention to the back 4 as well for not letting as many shots on and protecting
Absolutely,
him on that front.
yeah.
I mean it was a team performance defensively, because we knew, we couldn't be letting average chances going in.
How did Cube get selected to be the goalkeeper? Or is it just he's the emergency goalkeeper from the beginning?
We didn't know. It was a half time with anyone on the bench, like, has anyone been goalkeeper before? And he kind of raised his hand. He was pretty keen for it. He was pretty confident in his own ability. So I mean, he came out there, and I mean, credit to him. I mean,
we were talking about that spark last podcast, right? How that takes an extra level. You go to that extra level of winning whenever you get that spark on the team, right? And maybe that's what they needed. That they really came together because they knew that they had to fire. And whenever they were getting attacked, they had to run and go after them, because we didn't have a great keeper, right?
Yeah.
So they knew they get close to Q, they're probably gonna score, right? So I mean, that's why they busted ass. You could tell the level of intensity was sick. It was great.
Yeah. So there's been a couple of instances in the Roja League just this year, I think, where a keeper that hasn't been a keeper's been in goal. Was it in Innocentes?
Diablos too. Yeah, Innocentes in the first game.
In the first game, they had a keeper, and then it rallied them to go back, and they were 4-1 down, and they came back to 4-4 with a keeper that's never. I don't know if he's never been, but he wasn't an actual goalkeeper.
See, that's a good point. See, this is why I hired him, right? Because he gets my back, right? I'll go. Those teams didn't have a second goalkeeper.
So you'll either good together or fuck up.
We'll stay together.
Yeah, exactly. Innocentes didn't have a second goalkeeper for that game. They got screwed. Diablos got a red card in another game. They didn't have a second goalkeeper. They didn't have a second goal. So it's not isolated to just Irving FC that doesn't have a second goalkeeper.
But it does seem to be, if you don't have a second goalkeeper and he goes down, it rallies a team. And you're right, maybe that's a spark that the team rallies together, and it's almost like a.
Yeah, I think it was a good thing for the team. But let's be real, when you want to talk shit and set the standard on a lot of things, little things like that, they can't happen to you. No, you can't be, I don't have a goalie and I got my defender being a goalie. I mean, let's be real, you're trying to set a level of standards higher than everybody else, so that can't happen to your club when you're doing
I mean,
that.
it's rarely going to happen at a professional level, but it has happened before. So.
Yeah.
He does have your back. Let's give it a back. He does have your back. Yeah. But so I guess we agreed. Player of the match is going to Q.
You gotta pronounce his name. Guess.
Quente. Quente.
Last name?
I don't have my
Oh,
glasses.
your glasses are still
I don't have my
I don't even know him. I've known him for a while, so I'm going Kira Matang.
Kermatang. I mean, he can pronounce that, but he can't pronounce El Gallinero.
There you
That's
go.
too hard.
Come on.
El Gallinero.
We're gonna bullshit it, yes.
There you go.
But yeah, guys, okay, so we got player of the match. We did our game recap. I'm glad that, we finally got a win. I think our special guest is here. He's ready to come on. So we'll go ahead and take a break and add him on. All right, guys, well, we're back with our first official guest from Harrington FC, the president himself, Edgar. Give us a little bio, please, Edgar.
Yeah, I mean, we started the club about a year and a half ago, just a group of friends. Started, third division EPSL, started, building up. I mean, we thought, it was a good project, little by little. I mean, non-college players began, guys that graduated or guys that, never had the chance due to, club financials, I mean, parents didn't pay their, Texans or Solar or FC Dallas. So, we started, giving the opportunity to compete with, guys that were in college or in college. And I mean, we've grown big. And I mean, right now, we're competing with the best. I mean, I think Rojali's done a good job in collecting, I guess, the best teams in DFW. And I mean, we've just go on from there. I mean, see where it takes us, Dreams are open cup. And I mean, we'll see.
Anything can happen. Yeah, I mean, we were just talking earlier about Premier Legends, how it's a great team, but you could tell that they're not there yet, right? And it's that shows you that it's really hard to compete at this level, right? At least at the Roja League, they put a ton of talent together, and you got a couple MLS players, ex-MLS players playing there. You got a lot of a great local talent. But yeah, let's talk about your match on. That's really what we brought you in for. We want to know. We want the gossip. What happened this Saturday? You were playing against Foro, right? Foro Sports Club.
Yeah.
And can we pull up the game, Danny?
Yeah, pull up the stream.
Yeah, let's pull up the stream, Danny. So apparently the refs walked off the field, right? So we start getting notifications from our fans saying, "Oh, what's going on? What kind of league is this? What kind of refs are these? What's going on?" And so we look at the broadcast, and we just see them walking off. So can you explain us what happened? We want the truth. What's going on?
Yeah. So at that time right there, our side, sideline guys, we did not know what was going on. I mean, he threw, I guess, his pen or.
Well, he's pissed right there. Yeah.
He's pissed. I mean, right there, he's kind of he's telling us our side of the half there. He's just like, I'm done with this. They keep bitching at me, and I'm kind of just like, hey man, like you're just gonna walk off. Are we gonna, I was kind of like saying, card him. I mean, whoever's bitching at you, yellow card, red card. I mean, if they're giving you F bombs, I mean, you're the boss man if you're the ref. In between those lines, if you're the ref,
So was this after the penalty?
So the penalty was like, I guess, the 5th minute. Obviously, I guess that was the only time as the coaching staff, we kind of, I wouldn't call it bitch, but we kind of, it was a soft handball, kind of bounce, edge of the box, whatever. He called it, game kept going, whatever, and I don't know, if you can see, throughout the game, people walking, I guess, side by side with him and kind of just mouthing stuff. I don't know what was said.
Yeah.
But at that time he walked off. I don't know if y'all want to keep playing it when he's on the sideline. And before the game, I paid him my ref fees. Beforehand, I paid. I actually borrowed his pen to put my numbers on the players, and everyone was on the roster. Everything was legit. We were ready. I even asked them before the game, you know, we usually wear gray, black, black. And they were all black, so we changed, you know, red. I was like, it's the gray with the black, you know, distinguished. Do you want us to change? He's like, no, it's fine. He made our keeper change socks and stuff. So, I mean, our communication, you know, I mean, was clean and stuff. I mean, we actually had these refs at our Vaqueros game at Gateway. So, I mean...
Yeah, we had the refs.
I mean, they weren't... they weren't, I mean, bad. I mean... Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you that, the ones we had in the first game of our season against Diablos, those guys were terrible.
I think, look, if I may, I mean, look, let's be real. If you're a ref, you gotta have thick skin. Because there's always gonna be those fans on the sideline talking shit, right? As long as you don't use, foul language and you're calling somebody a bitch or something, I think anything outside of that is fine, right?
Yeah, they pay their ticket.
Exactly, I mean, you're paying like there to be a fan.
You know? I mean,
So, but that's ridiculous. I can't believe he just walked off.
These refs were our refs before the game.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see here, I mean, you see where our team is standing and you see where the Foro players are standing.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of get a sense of what's going on without even, like, hearing the stuff.
So did they give you any explanation of why they walked off?
So right here, I mean, the ref was just saying, I mean, I'm fucking done with the game, you know. I fucked up, the handball was in a... He started saying... I fucked up, the handball was in a handball, I should have carded a guy on your team, I should have carded a guy on Foro, I fucked up,
Oh, wow.
I'm an idiot, and I mean, at that point, I kind of felt bad, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're human beings, and I mean, the guy was a good guy, I mean, last game, I mean, beforehand, we were communicating, you know, roster check, whatever, and I mean, at that point, we kind of backed off, we're like, you know what, I mean, maybe he needs, you know, some space or a few minutes, and I mean, it just escalated, and I mean, he was packing up. He was determined. He was ready to go home. And I mean, Foro kind of convinced the guy with the beanie, I think.
With the ponytail, right?
Yeah, he actually came back. I don't know how long it took, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. I mean, right there, they came back and he actually resumed the game. But I mean, at that point, I mean, as players, cool down. I mean, it's kind of restarting the game, affects the momentum, you know. Yeah, the team was dominating and all of a sudden you just, you know, pause the game. I mean, it affects, you know, a lot. And then the new center that goes in, he tries, you know, get order, you know, of the game and starts, you know, yellow, free yellows, everything. And we're kind of just like, hold up. I mean, our guys were used to, you know, the guy before that was kind of, you know,
he let it play.
I mean, he told us before the game, you know, I'm gonna I'm not gonna make no easy calls. And I was like, all right, I mean.
That's what he said to us too.
I mean, it's whatever. I mean, we had them before, so I mean, it's not like, you know.
So the first piece of gossip, well, I call it gossip because it came from some guy on the stands that didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, but this is what he told us. He told us that Harrington's side was cursing so bad to the refs that the refs quit. I'm glad you're over here getting the shit straight because that's a bad rep for your team and for you as well, right? So I'm glad that didn't happen. That was going around for the first 20 minutes after this happened. They're like Harrington's side was taking shots at the refs and they had enough and they walked off. I'm glad that didn't happen.
I mean, our players, of course, it's the usual, you know, maybe frustration, like, fuck, you know, I should have done this, I should have done that. But, I mean, we've played all these games beforehand. I mean, there's no common pattern in our, you know, I guess, language with the refs or with the opposing players. I mean, we haven't, you know, got in a, fight or whatever. Yeah. But, I mean, right there, I mean, he just... Yeah. So, I mean, I would ask maybe a player on the field, you know, I mean, what's going on? But, I mean, our players weren't even near. Yeah. I mean, I just see a 4-0 player, you know, come up to him, and, I mean, he even picked up whatever he threw. Yeah. I mean, he walked off. He was done. Once I, you know, kind of started feeling bad, I mean, we resumed, and he was actually in tears. Yeah. He was crying. I mean, his eyes were red. I was like, man, you know what? I mean, this guy, you know, he got to, maybe, I don't know if he was having a bad day or if something was going on. I mean, what I known, I did some investigation after. I mean, all three of them were kind of like friends or buddies. I mean, they're Turkish, so they were speaking in their own, their own, I don't know what that was being said, but I mean, we agreed after, I mean, I don't know how long, I wasn't keeping time, but I mean, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes passed. I mean, a lot of stuff, you know, could have happened by then, but I mean, we resumed, the other refs took over. I mean, right there, they're arguing that, you know, the players are bitching at me, I'm not doing it, and I mean, we kind of let, you know, gave him space, and I mean, look right
Yeah,
there.
he
you
threw
kinda-
his.
Yeah.
You see what's going on, and then
We had another lady on Facebook, right? Can you pull that picture on Facebook, Danny? So while we're working on that, go ahead.
and then right here, I mean, I don't know what Bob tells him, but at halftime, Bob actually gets an argument with the refs. I don't know if you could pull up that.
Oh, so this.
Oh, he's a
No,
yeah,
this was just the beginning.
Hey, Danny,
So
he's known for that. He's known for that.
This was just like soft. I mean, PG. I mean,
Danny, can you
so
go to the
so at halftime,
Rocket League? The Toro Sports.
he actually goes up to them,
Facebook.
the ref group. He's like, "Hey man, the roster you provided is the one against Inocentes, which was like
Oh, here we go.
two games ago. I don't know when they played Inocentes. I think they played it when we played at Gateway Park. It was against two games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they played against them, and that's the roster they presented. No numbers, you know, on players. I mean, no player registration numbers on some players.
Yeah.
A couple players that were signed up never played before. I mean, I don't want to say they're not registered, but magically showed up, you know, to the one game that, you know, playoff, you know, result, you know, they needed that result. I mean,
Oh, let's be real. Yeah,
didn't set
there's
it up
players that are playing there that are not registered. And would that be? I got a quick question. I don't mean to jump off the
Yeah.
subject. Would that be whose responsibility is that? Is that the ref's responsibility, or is that Pitt, right?
For what?
I think it's
For allowing players to play when
we
they're not
told the
registered.
refs there, I mean, we kind of made it, hey man, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's our job to provide you the roster and your money, but beforehand, you should also suggest, hey, because I mean, he came up to us and he was like, hey, I'm gonna check you guys in.
Yeah.
We lined up, you know, jersey numbers, names. I mean, I seen, what's it called? Premier Legends kind of posted a video of the same routine.
Yeah.
It was done with us. I assumed it was done on Foro. I mean, so we went up, and we saw the paper, no numbers. I mean, on some players, I mean, no jersey numbers, who's playing. For example, today they're texting me, it's like, hey, if we replay, it has to be the same roster. How do I know who's
Yeah.
on their roster? I mean,
Yeah.
They wanted us to move the time to play at 2:00
that's
because
what they actually reached out to me, the league.
yeah.
And Bob, he's like, hey, FYI, it might be earlier. And I was like, I mean, I guess whatever. You're the home team. I mean, what am I gonna say?
I mean,
you know?
honestly, like,
You can say no.
If you want a,
Yeah,
if you want a
that's what we
professional league, and
Yeah, that's what we did.
the problem is we had kids that were going home for you know, playing
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Christmas, and we already knew it was a 6 o'clock kickoff, and
Yeah.
we were suddenly looking at playing
Yeah,
at
I
2, and
mean-
we couldn't get these players back in town. So,
I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
but I mean, I think what happened is they have players that are playing in other
Yeah, that's-
leagues as well.
so
and they're
I
trying
had
to-
I had this experience with them at the UPSL.
Yeah.
We won the regular season champs, so we were, I guess, home team. But at that time, we were playing at Mansfield ISD, and due to COVID, they closed down the district, so we weren't allowed to rent out, you know, a facility. And I mean, Bob was charging me an arm and a leg to,
Oh, yeah.
you know, to play.
We've been there. Oh, trust me, we've been there.
And so I was like, you know what? I mean, I was thinking Gateway.
Yeah.
So that I was trying to play, you know, on one day, and he was like, hey man, my players can't. I have 7, 8. I was like, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the home team, so I mean, we're presenting a time and date at Gateway Park that was available.
Yeah.
He's like, well, we can play at 4 at this time on my day, and I'll discount you 200. I was like, nah, I mean, we can't do that, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, that's really what upsets me, right? You have teams, I mean, here that are putting a lot of money into their brand, a lot of time into their brand, and you want to just change 3 days before the game, change the time. No, it doesn't work like that. They wanted us to move to 2 because apparently he said for a better weather and better atmosphere, which is bullshit, right?
Yeah.
We knew that his players are playing at cash tournaments, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want to miss that. So it's understandable. I get it.
yeah, I mean,
but
I have
you
players
committed to
too,
this.
playing
Yeah.
cash tournaments
Yeah.
and
Everybody-
playing. I mean,
yeah.
I can't control that because I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, you know the money behind
Absolutely, yeah.
that underground, you know.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and that's
Players being, and I mean, I understand it because I mean, some of those kids probably, you know, need that money, and I mean, I can't deny them, you know, if they go play over there, I mean, so be it. I mean, we had a player last minute against Premier Legends, and one of our starters missed because he was at a, you know, tournament, and I was like, you know what, I mean, you were getting paid a good amount, I mean, I'm not gonna match it, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't pay our players,
Yeah.
so I mean,
Yeah.
so be it. I mean, good luck to us. Without you, we'll try our best. I mean, we got the result, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't go to Premier Legends and tell them, you know, hey man, can we change the time, you know? But
See, due to COVID, it's understandable, right?
Yeah.
Due to any circumstance like that. But just because you got your players doing that, nah, man, you should have known weeks before that, right? And you should have told everybody that you couldn't do it. But you just want to move it like it means nothing, right? That's why I don't like ownership like that doesn't respect other people's money. That's really what you're doing. You don't respect other people's money, other people's time, and I don't agree with that. I'm glad that everybody stick to the time that they had, and we put our foot down and we didn't allow it.
And going back to the roster,
Yeah.
I mean, our whole preseason and our whole roster decisions was based on 25 players. I mean, we had players from other teams that came out to us that were like, hey man, we want to play with y'all. Hey, I was kind of more like, hey man, we're kind of going to the direction if we're gonna sign up 21, 22, have the open spots just in case COVID, injuries. We had a player against y'all that was out for 10 minutes and he's out for the season.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. I mean, I can't sign up a player and then we don't call him up and he just dips.
Yeah.
So I mean, what I seen on the paper or the emails, Foro has like 40, 50.
Yeah, they have like 30 players right now.
30 players signed up. If that was the case, I mean, I would have signed up.
Yeah, I didn't know that was because
I would have signed up
Oh, yeah.
35. I mean, I heard one of their players was signed up without even being notified.
We had that as well.
Oh, we heard about that. We talked about it on the podcast, on the first one.
He didn't even know.
Yeah, he didn't even know, and he put that he transferred to where? North Carolina or something.
Phoenix.
And Phoenix, and he didn't even know about
Took
it.
the credit.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of my brother. He talked to him Saturday. He's like, I didn't even know I was playing against y'all.
Wow, Florida, please. We want Bob in here. We're calling out Bob. Please come to the podcast. We want to hear from your own mouth. Did you or did you not sign this player? Did he play with you? Did he not play with you? We want to know. Please come to the podcast.
Afterwards, he was trying to transfer to our team, but I was kind of more like, the prestige of his level would have turned. I mean, every team would have been like, nah, man,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I can't do that because I would have turned the whole league against me. I mean, imagine.
Yeah. A lot of people would.
So I was like, you know what? Just leave it like that. I mean, if you show up, play with them, you show up. If you don't know, I mean, tell the guy from the league yourself. I mean, I'm not going to tell them because they're going to be like, nah, I mean, that's something sketchy, For example, I mean, the best ref crew in the Roja League, is the family that refs.
Yeah.
They don't ref our games for a reason. Because, what's his name? He plays with our team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just imagine if he ref one of his, siblings or family members refed our games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
It kind of, I mean, even though, they're pretty neutral and pretty, professional.
But
about
still,
it. I mean,
any kind of call, they can be like,
Yeah,
oh, come on. And you don't want that. Yeah.
I don't want that either. And I mean, from after the first game, I mean, the refs, I mean, they've been the typical UPSL, refs, yeah, they're going to miss some calls, but I mean, the first ref crew we had in Denton, I'm pretty sure they picked them up, not even Sunday League. They were better. I mean, they were pretty bad.
Same with us. Our first game was really bad.
It was bad.
You know that now that I remember that ref that started with the blonde hair on your game, he was the ref that was for Irvin FC.
Yeah.
And there was a really mouthy person on the sideline just giving him shit, and you could tell he was getting frustrated, like really frustrated, And some people. They're just not, they can't take criticism, right? They can't take abuse like that. But if you're going to be a ref, that's what you're going to get. Then you better pick up a different side job and, do something else. Cause
we can't
you're
control
gonna get
the sideline, what are we going to tell them, they pay $10, $15, I don't know how much Bob charges at his facility.
Oh, sure.
But,
They got bottle service in there now. They got a VIP section. We're not doing plugs. My bad. We're not plugging for the sports club. We're not plugging them.
But,
But yeah, the level of ref definitely can be improved on because, it's pretty bad.
I've seen some other games. They've been, calling out the ref crews. The only game it affected us directly was the first game. It's pretty frustrating because, we lost and it could have, first game you start off with the loss. It's hard to, get back together. But, thankfully we've recovered. But then this happened on Saturday and, Bob's been messaging me all day that he only wants to play 45 minutes and 1-0 in favor of them, and I'm
It's not
like,
his choice.
that's bullshit. I mean,
That's not
Yeah,
the game.
it's
yeah.
not.
first of all, I mean, if the league decides that, so what? 4-0 got away with what they did, and I mean,
Yeah, no.
When
we're
you've
not.
also got to look at,
There was a late-
fans coming in, paying.
yeah, I mean, that's
going to
the
turn up to
fans. Pay.
45.
I mean, he told them, he's like, hey, the ticket's gonna, go on for the next game, and I was like, that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about fucking,
Yeah.
we didn't. I asked for the ref report, the game report. I mean, they told me, pit, gotta get permission by the pit, gotta do this by the pit. I mean, till right now, I mean, it's what, Monday, 5?
Let's do it.
And look, and the biggest thing for me is we're not at the big level, right? But when you go to let's just say a Mavericks game, right? You want to see Luka, right? You want to see these big stars, and if they bench him, you're like, well, fuck. I came here to see him, and they're not playing him, At this level, there's parents here for Christmas,
Yeah.
right? And there's family from out of town for Christmas that want to watch that kid play.
Yeah,
And then this bullshit happens.
You know.
And then the second wave of gossip came, and from a lady on Facebook, can you pull it up, Danny? Saying that Fordo didn't pay the refs, and something along those lines. Can you read it, Gilbert, please?
Well, at halftime, I mean, if you could pull up the film from halftime. So the refs were, halftime, we're giving our, come on, we got to come back, 1-0 down, we're all on our side, and then the refs go towards them, and they're like, hey, man, we need the ref fees, and the roster, from today's game day.
Yeah.
And 15 minutes go by, we're ready on the field, both teams, and I think one of their players, coach player, I don't know what he is, he calls up Bob, to give the fee, and they were talking, from the distance, I see them, kind of talking, I don't know, asking for the roster, who printed the roster, I don't know what was going on, and all of a sudden, Bob starts raising his voice, and
Really?
he starts, getting an argument with the refs, and the refs, I guess they strike one, and the first 10 minutes, and after they just, I guess weren't having it no more, and they just told us they were packing up and leaving. They handed me my money. He asked for his pen back. You can see he asked for the pen back that he let me borrow. I gave it to him, and then
So the
I couldn't
second-
stop him. I was kind of in a position where
Yeah, what do you do?
what can I do? The guy's being disrespected.
Yeah.
There's an argument already. He's scared to give. He said in his words he was in fear of his life.
So it's from the it was from the conversation. It was from the conversation with Bob at halftime.
Yeah. After that, he
that
boom.
was when it all. Okay.
It escalated. I guess what was being said. He asked for roster and money. Bob had the money.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that he was paying him the money. I think it was something on the roster. I don't know. He couldn't print it. I don't know. The manager was there or his assistant. That was.
I thought he had a manager. Didn't he have a manager?
I didn't see him there. Maybe it was holidays.
Yeah, it's holiday, Boxing Day,
Yeah, I think
Elmer Perez.
I think the only thing is
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Well, he's gonna come on the podcast.
I told him we'll come today. And
He's probably working.
I think what the Roja League can really improve on is just being consistent on the rosters and stuff, because I know that there's a bunch of times where we played teams that didn't have players on that roster.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
I knew that, a small club like me without, had to actually be, one, transparent, have everything, organize the fees, because that's the first thing,
Yeah.
especially where our background, coming from the south side of Dallas and stuff, and our fans, typical, Hispanic,
Have you been to any games before, and have you guys been checked in? Because
Yeah, we had, the first game we were checked in, regular check-in, whatever. Our second game, who was?
Because that was up. So this
Premier
week.
Legends
This
were
week was our
checked in.
first time we've been checked
For
in.
real?
We were wondering.
We had this exact same ref crew against Vaqueros.
Yeah.
And he was vocal, he was, he checked us in and stuff. We had a guy, guy who was good friends with him that plays SMU. He actually asked, looking for him at halftime. He shook his hand. He was like, hey man, nice to see you. Everything was, fine with us. He's not a bad guy. I don't know what happened. I don't think I could pull up to halftime if the camera's on them, because that's at the first pause.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
He's arguing pretty. And then we
I
keep
could go to
going.
20,
We
25.
play.
I've never seen a linesman take a center referee spot during
After that,
Injury maybe.
Yeah.
But,
you know, we let it. You know, we're like, you know, fuck it, we're there. You know, I mean,
Let's play.
the guys, you know, let's just play. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the 10th, 15th minute. I mean, what can go wrong? You know, and then he actually starts carding our guys, and you know, I was kind of like, hey man, you know, control the game. You know, let the guys play, but have halftime, and you know, he just didn't have, you know.
Yeah.
So this is the question directed to Gilbert as a director and Edgar as a president for Harrington. Would it be worth it for you guys to bring up the level of refereeing and pay more fees to the league, or would it be it was just an incident and it's not going to happen again? What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, obviously, I mean, you always want to get the highest level of referees. I mean, yeah, it's going to cost more, but has to be decided upon the league. I can't say I'd be in favor of it, but it's I mean, everybody has financial constraints at this level, right? Like, you know, Edgar was saying that, you know, they just started and it's hard for them to.
I mean, it depends. I mean, the UPSL bumped up the fee for refs, and it's the same refs.
This is-
Oh,
the
they're
same
pocketing
crew.
that money.
It's the same crew
They
that's
still owe
over here
2,000.
on us.
They owe 2,000 to Irvin FC. I'm calling them out again.
It took me a while to get our prize money from the conference
Oh yeah.
championship.
Oh
It
yeah.
took me like a month.
Yeah.
But I mean, thankfully we got it, and I mean, the refs I've seen Roca League, this ref crew, and the past two games are the same ones we've had at UPSL. Besides the first, and I mean, cheap their money. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that family, it's probably the best ref crew. I mean, from Roca League. I mean, professional, communicate. I mean, we'll handle no BS. And I
Yeah.
mean,
I think we had them against
It was
Santos.
the Innocentes game.
he's real. I mean, straightforward with it. I mean,
So who's gonna make the decision on this? Is it gonna be Pitt, or is it gonna be who's gonna run the show here? That's what we want to know.
Roca League tells me Pitt. I don't know who Pitt is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why Pitt making the decision of the game.
Yeah.
Bob's really vocal that he only wants 45-minute match, and they're
Of
up
course he
1-0.
does. Of course he
And
does.
he's already has the
Yeah.
venue and the date ready, and I mean, I told him we're not doing that. I mean, I agree with the 0-0 full 90 new referee crew, because I mean, as you can see, I mean, obviously, I mean, if it's in his favor, he's gonna, you know,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, pocket whatever. I mean, you know, they need, and I told the league, I was like, it's not just us that needs the result or
Yeah.
Toro. I mean, it's, you know, other teams that are fighting for, you know, playoff spot or, you know, top 3, top, you know, 2 spots. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like it's just affecting us.
No.
I
Absolutely.
mean, it's a chance for them, you know, kind of, you know, lay down the ground. And I mean, we're not taking this bullshit. And I mean, it's not the first time. I mean, received messages that, you know, they kind of know what already, you know, happened. They just wanted to confirm, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you know, I mean, if I was the ref, you know, I would have probably red carded someone and, hey, man, I'm
Yeah.
done with your shit. I mean, if you're gonna be like this the whole time, I mean,
Yeah, no,
pack up. And I mean, you
Yeah.
know, if you're gonna be bitching at me, let the coach or let, you know, an official, you know, over here, you know, do their job, or the captain, you know. But I mean, if it's, you know, constant, you walk in next to me, or you, every time you run by, you're in my ear, I mean, but then again, I mean, refs should have some thick skin in them, you know.
Absolutely. So to get everything straight, you pay the refs. Porto didn't pay the refs. Bob, we're calling you out. Please pay these people.
No, he did pay them. He just paid them right
He
there.
paid them at halftime.
Oh, you paid them at
Yeah,
halftime.
he gave,
Okay.
the ref gave us our one, I don't know if you, I don't know, I think the ad was in the way
Okay.
of the stream, but so, I mean, there we're just waiting, I mean,
And then they take off.
I mean, as you can see, I mean, Foro's kind of doing more of the communication than
Yeah.
us, because I mean, we kind of didn't know what was going on, what was happening, roster was being asked for, and then after, so the refs leave, and Bob tells me I have some in-house refs that could ref the game, and I was like, no.
Oh, wow.
And then
He would have
the
charged you $300 for that. I tell you
And the
that.
Foro players were telling me, yeah, man, we have some refs, or get some refs from the stands that are there. I was like, come on,
Oh,
guys.
no,
Yeah, you don't wanna
no,
be
no.
Come on.
That's disrespect, man. That's
I
complete.
mean, they're
BS.
thinking I was the bad guy for saying no. I was like, come on. I mean,
Nah.
one, is not going to be official.
Absolutely not.
Two, I mean,
But I mean, that just shows you what
what
professional,
Bob
yeah.
thinks about the league.
I mean, if they're
that
really,
really tells you that.
if you're willing to take people out of the stands to referee a game, what's stopping him from getting players to play games for him too? Just out of just randomly.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to really see the ref report, the game ref, report. But I mean, it wasn't shared. I mean,
I
to
think it's
me,
not- I don't think it's come
I
out.
don't think it's gonna come out.
No, I think
either.
it will. I think that they were saying it was going to come out. So
I don't know. They'll probably keep it in house.
And then I told, I mean, he asked me, he's like, hey man, when can you reschedule? I mean, what day can we reschedule that your players
Who's
are?
asking that?
I mean, the guy of Roca League.
Oh, the Roja League. Okay.
And
As long as the Roja League is setting, I think that's where the communication should be coming from, not from
but
Bob, not from the teams.
yeah. Well, Bob reached out to me earlier, but I mean, I didn't really want to talk to him.
No,
I was
no,
talking
no.
more. But at that night, I mean, I called the Roca League guy, and I mean, I called him, texted him. Didn't hear nothing until the next morning, and I mean, he's like, well, I can't do nothing until I get the match report on Monday morning. So I mean,
But let's be real. Bob, which is the owner of Foro Sports Club, he doesn't care about soccer, man. He doesn't
business
care.
guy.
He just cares about bringing people into his facility. That's all he cares about, which is understandable.
Yeah.
He's got all his money tied into that, right? We got we got money tied into our clubs, so that's what we care about, right? All he cares about is bringing people to that place to play.
Money, please.
Oh, no, there's no money.
Oh, my bad. No problem.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. I'll just destroy this office.
Hey!
Money, please.
That shows you the level of commitment he's got to this club. I mean, just trying to get people from the stands to ref, that's just pathetic and it's disrespectful. Purely disrespectful.
yeah, I understand. I mean, Bob, I mean, I got nothing against him. I mean, he's a business guy.
Yeah.
He wants to, tickets, sales. I mean, he probably doesn't care if Foro wins or loses, but
Yeah. I mean, he's got his coach. What's his coach playing?
yeah.
Oh my God! Here we go. This
No, I got
bullshit.
nothing against the guy, but he's the one that made the ref cry. 15
really?
minutes. What was it? Halftime. 15 minutes in.
Golly, I don't.
And I mean,
And he's like
I don't
professional,
know.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, what I've seen is a common trend. I mean, not just I had UPSL teams that are playing now. The league reach out to me and they're like, yeah, man. I mean, it's the same thing when we play and stuff. I'm like, I didn't have that experience when I played them last.
Yeah.
What was it? Last season over the summer. I mean, we played them 3 times. I mean,
Go.
it wasn't nothing of this level, but I mean, as a ref, I would put them in their. I would have put them in their place and just started. Hey, I'm not gonna. Boom, you're out of here. And depending what was being said, I mean, like I said, when the ref report would have,
Yeah.
game report would have helped, but I mean.
So, man, I'm glad you came over and straightened everything out. There was a lot of gossip going around, a lot of, bullshit from fans all over social media. There was another lady on Facebook saying the same, sort of the same thing. There wasn't any, what do you call it, lineup or the roster. Yeah, she was there, saying what happened, which some of the stuff, didn't add up. But I'm glad we got the right story now, and we're happy. We're ready for the next game. I'm glad. Hopefully, you guys play the full game again. I think that should be more than fair.
I mean, that's what I was kind of, I mean, right now I'm disappointed because today, I mean, they were like, you know what, we got two scenarios for y'all. Either y'all don't agree and it ends 0-0, or y'all play 45 minutes whenever Foro can rent the field and whatever time they can do it. And I'm like, hey man,
Whatever
I
that
told
is-
you. First of all, we spoke Sunday and we're like, you know what? He's like, you know what? I think the best scenario would be 0-0, 490, new ref crew, from scratch, let the better team,
Yeah.
win. Because I mean, it's not just 3 points for us. Or, Vaquero's still in the hunt. Centes wants that, top spot, and I mean, Diablo's also fighting for, playoffs.
You can say it, Irvin. It's not. You can say it. You can say it.
Hey.
You can say it. You can say it. Nah, it is what it is. No, but I'm glad you came. I'm glad we got this straightened out, and hopefully you guys take a W. I like to see you guys. You guys got a great team. I know we give everybody shit here, right?
Yeah, no, it's under. I mean, it's for sure.
Yeah. But and in reality, I'm glad that whenever you reached out, or whoever handles your Twitter reached out, I'm glad that you guys did that, because it shows that this show is gonna give people a voice, right? It's gonna, because nobody's really talking about it. There is not a platform to get stuff straightened out right now, right? So now people, our fans, the public, they're gonna watch this and be like, oh, okay, so that's what happened, right? Oh, so this is how they handle that stuff, right? And even at lower levels than us, because there are a few lower levels than us, they'll know how to handle it moving forward, right? Oh, look, this is what happened at that league, at that level. That's what we should do, you know, with what we're going through. So I'm glad that that we got this going on. So we're gonna go ahead and get you involved with team of the podcast. Okay, so we're gonna do team of the podcast next. So we usually
go
Talk about the results.
Yeah, go over a few of the results from the week. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you had Vaqueros beating Diablos 3-2, which was a really big result from them. And then you also had Innocentes coming back from 2-0 down. Was it 2-0 at halftime?
2-0, yeah.
2-0 at halftime and came back to win 3-2, which lets them still be able to fight for top spot. So I mean,
And it was,
And Irving putting,
Yeah.
Premier
Finally.
finally
Finally.
getting that win.
Putting Premier Legends in their,
Hey.
their place.
They saw
we
the
don't
owner
get-
talking to another coach, so they finally got a W. Yeah. They put a little pressure on the
We
coach.
finally had to find something, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, so
Win's a win.
A win's a win.
Yeah.
And we'll move forward from that. But I mean, it puts Fort Worth. Vaqueros are still in the playoff hunt now with that win. They still got a chance.
Yeah, I think there was like about 6 or 5 players of Vaqueros actually at our game.
Yeah.
Watching, because I mean, that game kind of,
Yeah.
it kind of affects them in
It
the
was,
playoff hunt.
It was a hat trick, wasn't it, for Fort Worth Vaqueros?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
They're the
what-
striker.
what their striker scored a hat trick, so it was a big day for him. And then it was two penalties to Innocentes?
Yeah, 2 penalties.
2 penalties that got him on the
It was a
mark.
big
So-
win though.
Yeah, big win.
Estudiantes had, I mean, I looked at the lineup, it was just a keeper that we're kind of missing. I mean, they had everyone else.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, they did, for sure.
they had the
so,
2 SMU boys and the other college guys, so I mean.
yeah.
Great competition. I'll go first.
Who you thinking for team?
I'll give it to Innocentes. You know, I mean, I want to give it to Irving, but I mean, you gotta prove to me. I'm not gonna give it to you just because. I mean, you played a team that is super young, right? If you would have played and beat Innocentes or Foro at a 4-2, you would have got my vote, but not yet. That shows you that we're not, fucking around here, fellas. We're telling the truth. We're giving it as it should be. So I'll give it to Innocentes. That was a really, really good, phenomenal win.
Yeah.
I'll give it to him. Gilbert, what do you think?
Man, for me, it's between Innocentes and Vaqueros. I might have to give it to Vaqueros because I don't like to agree with you. So
he's gonna-
I'll go with
for another
Vaqueros.
job.
It was a must-win game for them.
Not only was it a must-win game, it's
Derby.
they call it a Clasico, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I mean, to beat Diablos in the Clasico is always extra special for those guys. So yeah, I'll give it to Vaqueros.
For sure. What do you think for team of the week?
I would give it Innocentes. I mean, that's a big.
Yep.
I mean, on paper, people would have thought, another 3 points in the bag for Estudiantes, especially with the roster, they had available that day. I mean, they come from I think tie against us and a win against them. So I mean, that's 2 big weeks. I mean, we played them as a tough opponent to play. I mean, real physical with their game. I mean,
Yeah.
real
Nice.
scrappy.
On
I
that-
mean,
on
if
that
you
field.
play them on their field, they'll
Yeah.
reduce.
We did.
So I mean, it's in their favor, but they know how to play. I mean, take advantage of the little things, and I mean, the win. I mean, a win is a win. I mean, against Estudiantes, kind of shows that they're not invincible, and I mean, anybody
Yeah.
can go out. You guys tied them, they beat them. I mean,
Yeah.
if they play us next week, so if, we get the result of them. I mean, kind of they can drop from first place. So
Yeah.
I mean, it just shows in this league that anyone could beat anyone on any day. I mean, every result has been
except for me,
pretty close. and-
Yeah.
Who do they play?
We're gonna cross them out. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Who
kidding.
do
I'm
they
kidding.
play? last game
I'll
of the
tell you
season?
this: when we played Premier Legends, so we have a backstory. About 3 players from Premier Legends reached out to me because they were cut from them because one of them wasn't a college player. He's actually a starter for our team now. So I mean, he kind of gets a
What's
little.
his name?
Yeah.
Javi. Javi. He got. I mean, they kind of told him, we got these ballers. We don't have room for you. And I mean, I was like, he was a good
Yeah.
player. We liked him. He came out of practice and he won his
Yeah.
spot. He fought for it. I mean, and I had another player too, but he kind of reached out a little too late. We kind of already had our roster finalized, and I think he's playing with y'all.
Dalen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, they were hyping themselves up pretty,
Yeah.
I had a guy reach out. He's like, "Hey man, watch out these guys. I mean, they got these D1 players guys from North Texas and stuff." I mean, we weren't worried. I mean, we knew what we had. And I mean, they didn't know we would match up as, you know. I mean, they're a little soft. I would be honest with you. They play. I mean, they got good talent. I mean, good. You know, try to play good soccer, but at this level, you know, it's different.
Yeah,
I mean, you're playing grown men or bigger guys. I mean,
I heard one of the kids screaming at his mom. He was like, "I have one coach on the other side. I don't need you coaching me," because the mom kept screaming at the kid.
Yeah.
And to go this way and go that way, and I'm like, that shows you, you know, you're in kindergarten, son. You know, this is a men's league.
No,
We're building man over here.
We talked about it earlier, and like they say, they have a lot of talented players, but it's just the experience of playing at that next level, and not playing college, but you know, playing against like men and players that have
because
been there and done it.
when we played them, we went down a man 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would have thought, you know, with the talent against us, they had their full. You know, the best, I mean, their best striker, he's probably hasn't played after they played us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's fucking good.
Yeah, no,
He's
sure.
good.
He's a
But he's a
SMU,
one, yeah, he's SMU.
boy.
But he's a one-man show, I mean, on their offense. I mean, they were kind of missing that last, you know, the connection between the midfield and them. But
I mean, they were
he's
4-1.
good, though.
They're missing our Felipe.
They were 4-0 up.
And their left
against,
back,
in
left
the
back from
centre.
UNC, he's good, too.
Yeah, but they were 4-0 up against Innocentes to start that first half.
That's a
anyway.
grown man.
Yeah.
Grown guy, you know.
Yeah.
That's a street ball right there.
Show, you know, I mean,
That's street ball right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who you gonna give it to? So we got Inocentes, Vaqueros.
Yeah, so I guess I've got the, what did you call it? The icebreaker?
Oh, here we go with this bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, from the whole podcast, listen to everybody else, I think it's got to be Fora, hasn't it?
Oh wow!
I mean, Fora.
I'm putting in a call to the owner to get a new coach.
Joking. I think it's got to be up. See, I want to say Vaqueros too, but that's going to put it at 2-2. So.
Hey, we got the camera guy then. He'll be the icebreaker.
I think Vaqueros for me. I think to keep their playoff lives there and to really a must-win game against Diablos who came off a 4-0 win against us and they were flying.
Diablos are missing Partain brothers, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he got injured. One
They did?
of the Harris Partain brothers got.
He scratched off.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why. That's why.
it's scratched off.
Yeah, I think he's done.
That's
for
a tough blow. I mean,
Yeah, he was a
two
good-
starters.
good
I
player.
mean,
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, no, they're big pieces for that squad really.
So who's it gonna be, Ben?
So I said Vaqueros for me, so it's 2-2. So we've got
Oh,
need,
wow.
need
We can,
Alright, Danny.
we can conference Janos in.
No, just pick it.
I'll go with Vaqueros because Inocentes is still staying somewhere around here. They broke someone's heart, so
Wow.
Vaqueros.
Oh
He's going with the
wow!
feelings.
Okay, we'll give it to Vaqueros.
He's going to the
See him on the
feelings.
podcast. Go to their website. You know, we'll give him some free plug. We'll give him a
Oh,
free
you got to
plug.
click on the website.
It's already open.
No, it's Inocentes
Oh,
that's open.
Oh wow! They don't have a
It's still
website.
not working.
Come on, Hitch.
Hey,
Come on,
it's not
Hitch.
working.
Is ours working? No,
It's not
ours
working.
isn't working.
It's not
Oh, they must have. Hey, they must have watched the podcast. Oh wow!
It's working.
Only theirs was
Only
working.
this
That
one.
was-
Wow! Come on, Hitch.
Inocentes. Yeah, these three aren't working.
Oh wow! We're putting in a call.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
Well, next we have we're gonna cross two names out from the VIPs. The VIP. Oh no, the VIP. The MVP. You know, you can tell I'm getting a little buzz. But we're gonna cross two names. So go ahead, you take over, man.
I mean, I think first of all, Jose hasn't
hasn't
played for the last little bit.
I don't know if he's in holidays or he's out or he's just
Oh, cross him
Maybe
out.
after they started losing, so I
That's-
mean that's got to be.
And if my team started losing, I get frustrated.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah, but you got. I mean, you committed to a
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
It's tough on that front.
Actually, before I kind of try to get them, you know, on our team, because that's when the guys were coming, reaching out to me. So their team was kind of, you know, in the scrambles. You know, I ended up getting, you know, one of the North Texas guys that played with us. I was gonna play with them.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, I reached out to him. You know, I mean, he's a baller,
Yeah.
but he said my word is with Premier Legends, and I mean, I respected that, and I mean, but I guess
But there's some,
after
yeah,
2-3
there's some
games,
players
he
and
did.
Yeah.
So.
the commitment levels on them. So I mean, so there's Julian Barajas who he didn't play against us when we played. He was over there on the sidelines. I haven't really seen. He hasn't scored for them since. He started off pretty
I
hot.
think he did score.
Did he score?
He scored one.
Against
I think so.
I think it was like a rebound.
I think Carlos scored. I know Carlos scored.
Against it, yeah,
against
I think
Innocente,
he
but
scored
He scored
once.
the other one, did he, as well?
He was at our game against Innocente. That's why I kind of recognize him.
Okay. So I don't know about you, Gilbert, if any
Who's
other
the other
kind
one? Man, I don't know. It's tough.
We haven't even played. Both these guys,
Yeah, I know.
this past week we didn't play.
Yeah, so it's tough to.
Anthony, I mean, he shows up maybe every 3 games. I mean,
I'll
real
tell you,
impressive.
against us, they had their full,
Yeah,
the best 18. They had their parents, everyone. I mean, they brought out. I mean, Arturo out, never played a game ever before. I mean, I'm cool with the guy, but I mean, he showed up. He didn't even know who he was going against.
Yeah.
They just show up.
He
for-
just
for
showed
one
up, and he
game.
came up. He was talking. He's more. I mean, he didn't even know anyone on their team.
Oh wow.
He came up to us, started talking, to some of our players. I mean, he's good friends with them. Plays, those, indoor, outdoor trains with them. And I mean, he was kind of like, hey man, I mean, this is my first game. I don't really, I didn't even know it was against y'all.
So, a question about sort of how you've approached this league. So, have you been managing to train throughout this process and get training sessions here?
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
kind of-
We actually started pre-season like a month before. Every like twice a week. The college guys came in Thanksgiving break, so they had maybe a week or maybe one training session to kind of get
Yeah, kind of.
used to the guys. I mean, it's stuff to get everyone there. I mean, but we've been consistent with our numbers at training, and I mean, coach practicing them. But I mean, it's been 25-man roster has been reduced. We don't play some guys, they leave, and I mean, the show goes on. I mean, you can't pull back because a player you hurt his feelings, or I mean, he was your friend or stuff. But I mean, without them, you keep going. So.
Yep.
No, definitely. We've had kind of a similar thing, and especially when you start losing players. Start
Well, the first game, we lost. I mean, players were kind of like, I mean, it's against Denton, they weren't the better team, and we were kind of, matched up pretty well against them. I mean, the refs, got us frustrated. You start off with the loss, it's hard to, recover, especially, you see yourself at the bottom of the table, and you're like, you know what,
Yeah, no,
you gotta turn this around. Especially, the caliber of guys, we had some guys that were, playing with Vaqueros, playing with, other teams that came, committed to us, and I mean, they, had our word, and they,
And some of these players are so young that they see that there's not a chance for playoffs, and they'll stop coming.
Yeah,
They'll stop caring. I mean, they're not professionals. They're not. So
they're not
they'll be
getting
like,
paid,
"Fuck
so,
it,
I mean-
I'm not coming. I'm not
I
going by
don't
four."
think they understand the platform that they've got. That there's a lot of
yeah.
a lot of coaches watching, college coaches watching, USLs coaches
You
watching.
don't get a chance to compete, with top talent,
Oh, absolutely.
week in and week out, especially in a quick 9 weeks, 6
6
weeks,
weeks.
8 weeks.
It's a big opportunity for
But I
all
mean,
these players.
from our aspect, there's indoor money tournaments every weekend. Those Houston, 100K tournaments.
Like every
once
club. So
every 2 months or something, and then you have the local indoor leagues that are for money, and you have all these Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. So I mean, it's tough.
That's a big thing on Foro, isn't it? They've got a few Dallas sidekicks
Sidekicks, yeah.
players. I mean, so
I'll be surprised how they do it for our game this weekend.
Yeah.
Because Sidekicks plays at the same
they
time.
play at the same time.
There's our
Well,
game
I
schedule.
thought, when we were playing Innocentes, the sidekicks players wouldn't be there, but they showed up.
Oh wow, Bob must be paying them good.
But I must have flew them in or something.
That's why I want Elmer. I want
Ubered
Elmer.
them or something.
Hey, that's crazy.
I want Elmer coming in. Yeah, I want Elmer coming in because he's gonna give us the 411 of what's happening at Foro. He had the payroll sheet. He had the payroll
Yeah, the
sheet.
inside information.
From what I heard, they still, still pay players.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's the only way. I mean, I know they don't train. Like, what I've heard, we had like a couple guys that were kind of our far bench players that went to 4-0 and they, did the stuff. They put them on the second team. And he was like, "Hey man, you gotta pay. I don't know
It's
how
like
much it was.
$200.
two something a month.
Second team,
And over here, I mean, I wasn't even charging him anything. He's like, "Hey man, can I come back?" I was like, "No man, you
Yeah,
left."
yeah. That's cool. That's a little.
I guess
wild.
that's to pay. I don't know, the players, coaches.
Yeah.
I don't think it just.
I mean, he's having more fun coaching than playing than coaching. How are you gonna charge someone, and promote that coach when he's playing?
Double check.
Yeah, he's getting paid. Double dipping. Double dipping.
If the owner allows it, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is what it is. So we still need to cross off one more name. So
Man, I don't know.
It's tough on these two. I mean, not
We
playing
haven't
this
played, he
weekend,
hasn't
not playing this
I
weekend.
don't know if he'll
so
show up.
Yeah.
He's
You gotta be.
questionable.
No, he'll show up. They need the 3 points.
when they need
Yeah.
it.
They need the 3 points.
They
He'll
may
show up. He'll show
We'll
up.
wait and see what he does in the game when he plays against you
I don't
guys.
know, Juan Luis.
Did he
I
play?
don't know. I mean, he started off a tear. He scored 4 goals the first game, but then hasn't really.
I haven't seen him play
He hasn't really-
since really, but he
Against
came on
us,
against us the
he
last
did
20
not.
minutes or so.
He played, but I think he didn't score.
Yeah.
I mean, the start he had. I mean,
It's tough to just completely cross him off the list on that front, and then you got Rio. I don't know much about. I mean, the Vaqueros have been,
He's like their captain.
yeah, they've been doing pretty well on that front, but.
I guess after this weekend, you can probably cross out.
Yeah, we might have
Three.
to. We'll keep it right here, and we'll
Just
see.
cross out 3 over the weekend.
All right.
We can see who's this weekend's going to be pretty crucial to some of these teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Staying up here, I think.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't even know if we're gonna play our game.
That's
you could have
pretty
two,
wild.
You could have 2 games in
Yeah, I
this
mean,
week. That's the
Yeah,
big thing.
exactly. You can have
I
one
mean,
game
I
on
don't know.
Thursday.
They told me we don't play 0-0. I mean,
I had a Callum reaching out to me asking why his name was crossed off the other day. So.
Do y'all think I got a serious question right now? Do y'all think owning that many teams in the league is gonna affect how this is handled? And by one owner that owns a piece of Diablos, a piece of Estudiantes, and a piece of Vaqueros, right? Do you think that has any weigh in on, I mean, you got 3 teams on the league, and this decision that you have a lot to say in, you're pretty much the decision maker of the league. Do you think he's gonna make a decision based on his team winning the championship and going to the playoffs? Or, I mean, we're humans, right? It's gotta be really hard, because you put it on me, hey, y'all are disqualified, Irvin is in. see y'all at the final. Okay?
seed, number 1 seed.
Number 1 seed, yeah.
You want to make the right decision for the league. I mean,
Yeah,
the league's
exactly.
very first. I mean, it's new.
I mean, that's why I was
Seed.
disappointed, because I mean, it was an opportunity for, he was kind of telling me, the pit, and I don't even know who the pit is,
Yeah.
Who's the pit, who's the guy?
Who are we paying?
Yeah, I was like, who's the guy, I mean,
Making those decisions.
yeah, the pit's gonna pass you the referee report, but you're the league manager, I mean,
Yeah.
you're the guy that's gonna make the decision, and he was like, you know what? I think it's justifiable, 0-0, 90 minutes, new referee crew, that the better team, win, because, 2 balls of refs, 1 threatening to leave, and then 2, they left. So, he
Yeah.
texted me today, maybe an hour before I got here, he was like, you know what? There's 2 scenarios, either 0-0 draw, between, if y'all don't get it, organized, and y'all play it out, or 45 minutes.
Well, that should.
The drive to 4-0 is longer than a 45-minute half.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that shouldn't be left to you guys though. That should be mandated by the league. Say,
Yeah.
hey, this is what we're gonna do. You take it or leave it. But it shouldn't be like, well, obviously one
Well,
team's
you
gonna
know,
start 0-0 and then the
And
other.
the thing is, right now, I was like, I already have the, the stream ready, I have the field ready, 9 p.m. Wednesday. I was like, we
9
haven't even
p.m.
agreed on anything.
Yeah.
First of all, I told the guy, it's like, so we're not gonna punish 4-0 for the actions, that partake during the game. Are we gonna, slap them on the wrist, keep going? Or are we gonna make a statement, show like, Roja League was legit and professional environment? Or are we gonna, because a lot of people are gonna see the decisions being made, and they're gonna, either see something sketchy, turn some heads, or actually, they were fair, justifiable. Because refs walking off the field is never seen before.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring this up for people that are listening. This is very expensive, right? People, even if you see the level of quality, that costs money, right? The uniforms, the balls, the league fees, right? The referees, everything is very expensive, right? These players, they're not cheap because they're losing socks all the time, they're losing balls all the time, and you have to replace all that, right? So that's why it's so upsetting, the little things like this, and it's just not on him, right? But it's, people got to understand out there that we're putting up a lot of money, a lot of our time, and you just got to respect soccer. We're here to make people respect soccer. Okay, because what we do, for the love of the game, is expensive, and we're gonna continue to do it, right? And but yeah, I'm glad you came in. You came on the show. You straightened everything out. We did the player of the match earlier. We did. We're gonna cross out 3 next show, and we're gonna have 2. Hopefully, 2 people come on. Right, the last 2 MVP nominees. Hopefully, they come on the show. Like and comment. I'm glad you came on and our first guest. And yeah, well, thank you guys. Go ahead and anything you guys want to add?
Oh, good.
No, perfect. Just see what the standings look like, and I'm looking forward to seeing how
Games
the
this
Rokan
weekend.
League ends and how they deal with your match in the end. You know,
Yeah, I
it'll be
mean,
interesting.
awesome.
It looks like it says 80, 100% rain on Wednesday and Thursday, so I don't know what Bob's gonna have, but
Yeah.
We'll find out. So.
we'll see what they decide.
Send us off. Send us off, Joe.
All right, this is it for El Gallinero.
I can't say that.